Hi, everyone, wherever you are watching this from. Welcome to the FuelChat podcast. And today I have a very wonderful person. His name is David. David, can you tell us about yourself? Let's get to know you.
Sure. My name is David Opare. I am an applied AI engineer and consultant, and I also happen to contribute to open source whenever I have free time. And yeah, that's pretty much about me.
Awesome, awesome. So, can you tell us about your journey into software engineering and applied AI?
Right. So my journey into software engineering started with me studying computer science. However, um, while studying computer science, I made sure to be a bit more proactive and try to get money for myself. So I was learning a few things out of classes, especially web development. That was the thing in 2015, 2016 to make money. So made sure that I learned it and was playing around with it. And yeah, graduation time came. I got a job as a web developer and eventually got another job as a backend engineer. And after backend engineering, while I was doing backend engineering, uh, it was around the time ChatGPT came out, 2022. And I was like, okay, let me try to build something around it or something similar to it. And I made use of the GPT-3. Yeah, I think it was a GPT-3 API or 3.5 at the time, 2022, December, I would say. And yeah, build something, build a small project around it, and eventually I fell in love with it. And um, I think around April 2023, I posted something on LinkedIn, on Twitter, yeah, on Twitter, and it got about 20,000 impressions. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going back. This is the part for me. And what I built was essentially like a small coding agent. Well, let's say coding agent was more like a data analysis agent that was doing extract, transform, and loading from like a cargo data set and all. And yeah, and I got retweets from LangChain, and also I'm like, okay, this is a part I want to dive deeper into, and yeah, been going at it, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's amazing, and I truthfully like the part where you mentioned about the financial gain, right? Because over the years, I see people reach out to me and they be like, do you think it's still a good time for me to go into software engineering? Because of course they have seen people post their paycheck, people talk about how much money they're making and all that kind of stuff. So I think so at this point, with of course with the advent of artificial intelligence, agentic um, models and so on and so forth. So many younger people or other individuals who want to switch career are asking a major question: is this still a good time to move into to set up to start a career in software engineering? Looking at now we have thousands of engineers, now we have agentic coding and also many other things happening. Would you still encourage people to pursue a career in software engineering, especially for those who are thinking about the money? Just like economics, as once the supply continues to increase, the demand will decrease at the same time, right? So I'm pretty sure those who entered into software engineering at a very early stage actually cashed out, let me use that word, right? And now there's a very tight competition. Would you still advise someone, or would you in 2026, would you advise someone to start a career in software engineering?
Absolutely. I would advise anyone to go into software engineering today. So why would I do that? The reason is the barrier has been brought down low. It's you no longer need to go through extensive training to become a good software engineer. You need to be actually very uh have high agency because that kind of like trumps intelligence these days. Like you have these models being very intelligent, being able to do all the tasks you would normally want to do. So what you need to do is be very um, proactive, be um, very intentional about learning these concepts. And yes, people may say that there is a lot of like influx going into the field now, but
Yeah,
the only people that would, I would say, gain out of it is if you can stand out. And how do you stand out from it? Is by consistently building things, trying different things like shipping products, shipping applications, and all. Like there's difference between a builder and someone who just actually, uh, I would say, just prompts things but never actually does anything. So go through the entire process of like shipping from greenfield project to production, do it multiple times, repeats, document it, document your journey, put it out there, let people see that you are different, you are built differently, right? You're not just shipping trash because okay, we say there is a lot of like uh agent coding, right? But um at the same time, there's a lot of sloppy outputs or sloppy products out there. So if you build things correctly, if you build things a lot of times and not you stand out, you become different from the rest. So I would say, yes, this is the best time to go into software engineering because, yeah, you're pretty much equal to everybody else as long as you have these tools. However, it depends on you. Now,
yeah, great. I mean, there's this popular saying that talk is cheap. Show me your code, right? A lot of people just come online. Oh, there's this agentic coding. There's this that. Oh, we know, right? Show us how it is done, right? I quite, I very agree. For me, over the years, I think this roadmap you mentioned is something that have been very consistent for most of the people that have, interacted with. It has been a consistent pattern to not just rely on, oh, there's this tool, but what are you actually building, right? What are you shipping out? That's what actually separates you from those who are just looking and those who are doing. And that kind of makes sense. So talking about AI, how would you decide whether a problem actually needs AI? How would you go about it?
hmm, okay, I don't know how to answer that question because today most of these models have been trained efficiently to on many programming languages. So um, there are some edge cases, however, where the models are not very good at basically like the training data distribution may be a lot less in this train in these models. For example, some people say most agentic models are bad at coding Rust. And that's because in the training data, there may not have been a lot of Rust corpus to train these models. So to balance this, I would say it has to be with it has to do with you at the same time. It's more like um the first thing you can do is take an approach of how you would have code, how you would have built these things before the age of program, before the age of AI, sorry. So first read documentations, Google things like there are still some issues on Stack Overflow. It's not totally dead. So read documentations, try to prompt things, try to see how you could break these problems down into smaller concepts, right? Um, I believe most problems can be achieved or most problems can be solved, but it has to do with you being intentional about it, trying to go deeply into it and see how to fix them. But I don't know how this answer validates your question, but I think that's how I'll approach it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. One takeaway from what you actually mentioned is to approach the problem first of all in a way like there wasn't an assistant, there wasn't an AI or any model, right? Because like there have been these arguments. Some people try to define a developer and an engineer. some people argue that the engineer is more systematic and strategic in their approach to solving problem. They try to, break down complex problem into smaller bits and then try to find a solution around it. So I think you actually answered the question. That's a very good approach to just think about the problem in a more natural way of how you solve the problem logically, and then before you can start talking about using a particular tool or framework to solve it. And that's cool. So you also mentioned about contributing to open source. So how did you get started contributing to open source?
Hmm. Okay, that's a good question. I think I was chasing rewards. Shamefully, but yeah, I think I was chasing rewards. So there's this thing organized by Digital Ocean. It's called Oktoberfest. And Oktoberfest happens every October. And what you do is um, you contribute to open source and you get like a t-shirt or something, you know. And
Mesh.
I wanted to get into it deeply or badly. I wanted that shirt or those rewards, you know. But I didn't follow through with the entire Oktoberfest and all. But um around probably 2019 or 2020, I started going through it without the mindset of trying to aim for rewards, but with the mindset of let me go learn something, you know. And I would say some of my most embarrassing moments are in the PR discussions, like in the chat within the PRs.
Yeah.
That's where some of my embarrassing moments are, because you would see maintainers of libraries telling me, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do this to fix this problem." And I'm like, so if you knew how to fix this problem, why didn't you fix it? You know? So, so yes, some of my and you can actually see them enholding me and not telling me new things. Oh, you can actually do this thing to squash your comments and all. I'm like, okay, this is good stuff. So, I fell in love with it, I would say, because I was learning a lot more in open source by contributing to open source than actually working with some developers that I was working with. And yeah, I would say um except based on the part of the world where we happen to be in, or maybe based on the companies we happen to join, some of us may not have the opportunity to have like a very senior cracked engineer as guidance to guide us, right? So open source happened to guide me where uh, I was showing them that I'm ready to help you guys. I'm ready to contribute. However, you need to hold my hand a little bit, you know. So, and some of those contributors, some of those maintainers were very helpful. They didn't put me down, and yeah, fell in love with it. And I think instructor happens to be the library where I've been contributing the most. And the reason why I started contributing a lot more to instructor was because I use it personally. So since I used it and I found some issues with it, I'm like, okay, let me just try to go fix it, try to dig deeper into it and see if I can get a reward out of it, like PR merged. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's very good. And so I know there's so many engineers out there or people who want to start up a career in tech. Usually, when it comes to open source, they really feel intimidated, just like you mentioned, especially when you are commenting in the PR, you should have done it this way. At some point, some people just like, I give up, right? And I'm very interesting for a conversation there. So for you, what would be the advice for first-time contributors who feel intimidated? Especially yeah, sometimes they feel intimidated to want to even start in the first place. What would be your advice for them?
Um, I'll say first, don't be a pest because you actually need to go with the mindset of I'm trying to fix this issue, not trying to earn rewards like I was doing. Like, don't be like me. But um, I would say be intentional about wanting to fix this problem. Um, be intentional about digging through it, like going through various part of the code base, understanding the problem deeply, understanding why things are broken, testing a lot of things, and sometimes you need to clone it locally and add as many logs as possible, like add logs everywhere, see what's happening within this code base, what could be broken, what could be changed, what could be made efficiently, redone efficiently. So yeah, I would say be intentional about wanting to solve this problem rather than any other thing. So yeah, that'll be my advice.
Yeah, that makes sense. And as the year is starting, fresh, a lot of people have already looked at their previous plan for the previous year, and then they are looking up to the new year to see, oh, what goals are they going to achieve, right? So, um, what area of do you think that AI is overhyped right now? And what area do you think is overhyped?
Uh, okay. I may be biased, but yes and no. So the year's part is every 3 months or so, we see these companies coming out. We've released the most efficient AI model, the best AI model ever, and all. And I'm like, hmm, are you guys sure about this? Because essentially, what they are doing is kind of like reward arcane. So reward arcane, to explain it, it's more like they will take a benchmark, they will build environments around this benchmark to simulate these benchmarks and train these models to be very good at these benchmarks. So you're making models to be good at benchmarks. But when I bring it on my computer to help me to build a project and all, it fails. So what you tell me about you build the best or most efficient AI model or whatever that it means, you know? So, um, yeah, that's the part that I would say it's a bit overhyped. This company is trying um to um build models that are very good on benchmarks, but not good in the real world. However, there is a model that I've been using lately, and I like it very much. I think it is it was done properly. So, and it has helped me a lot with my project. So I would not disclose the model, but
So you want to
but
enjoy the benefit alone.
well, it's out there. It's out there for everyone to use. You may guess which model it is, but it is, yeah, I would say some of these models have made have made the work a lot more easier for us. And now you can actually ship more code, you can do more things and fix problem faster, which is the great thing about these models. I think they're incredible tools, especially for the um, as agentic coding assistants. They are incredible, and yeah, so not overhyped, but the companies um something else.
I guess at the end of the day, for them, or maybe for some of them, it's business as usual. All right, and of course, in maybe subsequent conversation, if you have time, we can still talk about um, the impact of AI, especially in the other worlds and in Nigeria, for example. Like I have some authors that argue that because you have a model you built in California doesn't mean it's going to work in Cotonou, right? Because these are two extreme places, right? And so gradually, engineers have started thinking of not just an agentic coding assistant that just works in a particular region, right? But trying to see how we can model this tool, right, to solve local problem You get what I'm saying? Because, for example, there was this post that trended sometime on LinkedIn where someone was building an app to teach people how to drink water, and then there's another guy in Lagos building an app that doesn't require internet to work efficiently and so on. So there's this argument of course. So for you, what would you? I know you don't want to mention your favorite model, but what would be your currently? What's your favorite programming language? And why? And are there any particular open source tool that you like or that you think currently you can't do without in your day-to-day activity?
Okay. So, to answer, I think your first question or the first part of your question, I would say, yeah, there is a bit of like cultural adaptation that is missing within these models, and that is an encouragement to we here in Africa to want to train models or try to put our mark out there, put a dent out there that, okay, let's not miss out within this whole digital revolution that is happening. Um, so that part is needs to be done. And how can we do that is by actually contributing with data uh, or in the internet, our languages, our things about our countries are missing in the internet, on the internet. So we need to digitalize a lot more of our media, of our data, and that way the West can at least, when they are scraping the entire internet, they can scrape our data too. So, and but we also need to build for Africa, right? Build train models for Africa and all. Myself and a few friends have started an initiative where we released a model sometime this year, or yeah, sometime this year we released a model called Sabian, and Sabian is a Nigerian trained model. It's a Nigerian language model, trained over well, it's a language model trained on Nigerian languages. Over nine Nigerian languages were captured within this model. And on local benchmarks, on regional benchmarks, we bested the likes of GPT-4 and Llama 2 on local benchmarks. So there is a need for more people, more efforts to be done around training or capturing African language within this digital space, um, so as to avoid digital colonization, like my friends would say. Um, so that's one part of it. The second part is to build this thing. I would say building problems today is no longer a regional thing. It's more like, I mean, fixing problems today is no longer a regional thing that, okay, there is a special code that you would apply to fix problems in Africa or to build solutions for Africa. No, uh, tech is tech has no boundaries or does not discriminate, right? So, my favorite tool, okay, I'll disclose it. I've been using Cloud Code a lot, and Cloud Opus 4.5 is the model that I was talking about earlier. And yeah, these tools have been have made my work faster, and I would say the models were trained very well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks a lot. And of course, like you mentioned, there's really no barrier. And talking about Sabian, I think that's a very good contribution there. And for whoever is listening to this conversation, you can go check out Sabian as well. Try to see what you can do. And I'm really very, for me, I'm very passionate. I'm very well interested in seeing a lot of people from Africa, a lot of fellow developers from Nigeria trying to digitalize, pull more things out there, because that's the way we can actually build the Africa that we want, or the Nigeria that we want, right? Not just sitting down and then doing nothing. And that's very interesting, and especially preserving the culture, the language. It's a very important part for me. Every time I see people working on, on projects that are particularly focused on integrating the region, kind of ensuring that these products are also built with the cultural mindset. It kind of talk about adaptability and also inclusion, which is a very important part, and that kind of makes sense. So for those who are listening to this conversation right now, are there any advice you would want to give? Any final words, for engineers who are trying to make impact? There are some people that are like, I'm not sure if I can actually do it. Some people, when they look at some of us, they'll say, you people started when this thing was early. You started early. Some of you have been doing this thing 10 years ago, so you have the experience. It's easy to come out and just say these things, right? But I still believe that, like you mentioned earlier, right now is a good time to be part of it, because now there are a lot of tools. Gone are the days when you spend hours trying to debug. Now there are a lot of tools that can make things happen. So what would be your advice? And for you, what has been the best advice you have received as an engineer?
Right. So I would say my advice to the viewers will be now you have the same advantage that I do, right? We on the same playing field today. There is no excuse any longer. What I can do, you can also do it. What Patrick can do, you can also do it. So um, you have to be very uh what's the word? I don't want to use intentional because I've been using intentional all through this interview. But I want to say that you need to be deliberate about what you want to build. Like, ask dumb questions. No one's watching you. The AI model is the only thing you're talking to. So ask dumb questions. Don't be shy. You know, ask it questions, try to read or consume tech materials. So you could go to YouTube, try to consume those materials, and read papers, read articles, try to see what people are doing out there and ask questions around it. And the AI can help you answer most of these questions, can break things down simply for you. Like, okay, today I'm learning reinforcement learning. And reinforcement learning is a complex topic, it's a difficult topic, but most of my learning have been conversations with these AI models. So I would employ anyone watching, like, go out there, ask questions to these models, ask questions to people. You can remove the human aspect from it. So ask questions from people, consume materials, watch videos, read papers, read articles, and yeah, the world is now your playing field, and you can build anything you want. So yeah,
Yeah, that's of course that's the word. You can build anything. There's no typically all the barriers are just out of it. Those days you could
yeah,
complain, oh, I'm going to spend months trying to build this thing, trying to learn this thing. Now you just need a few hours to just sit down and just say, okay, this is what I want to do, and then just go out there, go to the internet and look up, how can I achieve this? How can I do it? There's a lot of material out there, how to do it step by step. Just like you said, keep asking questions, and that's amazing. David, I just want to thank you so much for spending these few minutes with me, talking about these topics. It's very interesting, and I believe our viewers and listeners would also benefit from the information that you have shared. And definitely they will be better, and I'm looking forward for more contributions, regionally, to see how we can continue to build technology that's help our people to integrate more and to solve their problem as well. And I also look forward to having more of this conversation with you in the nearest future. Thanks a lot.
yeah. Thank you for having me.